let's start. Okay, last night was Thursday Night Football in Denver. Denver Broncos hosting the Indianapolis Colts. If you watched it, well, you didn't even really have to watch it. You just had to get on Twitter, and people were just lighting these teams on fire, Denver especially, for how poorly they were playing and how it was just. We all, at our core, the reason football is the biggest sport in America is because it is the most entertaining game, the most entertaining live television product you can get a grasp in this country or the world, for my money. And last night was not that. But like we do, like Americans tend to do, we rally, circle the troops, and find a way to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, which is exactly what this game was. So we had fun with it on Twitter. That was going on. But getting down to the bare bones of it. Okay, yes, you'll notice if you're watching the video version of this, if you've listened to us before, I am a Chiefs fan. I write for Arrowhead Pride, SB Nation site, doing film analysis, and I support the Chiefs. They're the big reason why I love the game too, other than just the sheer entertainment factor. By the way, none of my opinions on here represent Arrowhead Pride. Put that disclaimer out. But I'm being honest, and I'll always be honest about what I see when it comes to these teams, especially when I'm putting things out here like this, putting my name on it. I'm going to call it like I see it. And the Russell Wilson trade, as it stands here, 5 games in, the trade, okay, the contract that went with it is looking like both not just short-term, but long-term as well, one of the most atrocious, devastatingly poor football decisions, business decisions we will ever see as NFL viewers. Let's just go over it real quick. So Denver, to get Russell Wilson and a 4th-round pick, they gave up. Okay, we'll go through the players first. Drew Lock and Shelby Harris, Noah Fant. Those are good, proven players. 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks in the next 2 seasons, as well as a 2022 5th-rounder. Okay, so 5 draft picks, 3 players, 2 of them very proven, solid, young, Fant at least, young player. That's what they gave up to get this quarterback who was into his 30s already, who didn't look good at all to end last season in Seattle, and I think people wrote it off as well. It was his thumb injury, but I don't know. You got to see what you see, and it was poor play in Seattle in 2021. But not only did they do that, okay, I think the trade in a vacuum, Denver has been desperate to find just even remotely competent quarterback play for over 5 years now. That part I can excuse a little bit. Where they really, really shit the bed here was giving him the $161 million guaranteed before he ever played it down in the uniform. Because now, quite simply, he's locked in. There's no way, the way the NFL, is as great as it can be to get out of bad contracts sometimes, whereas in like baseball and basketball, it's more challenging on the team side. In the NFL, sometimes you can't get out. It doesn't happen often, but it looks like, as we stand here, they are stuck in a, we're in October, they are stuck in a Freddy Krueger nightmare, which is Russell Wilson and what he has stripped of this team in terms of resources and how he is playing, which is mid at best and quite frankly below mediocre. You can't get out of the contract until 2026 at the earliest, okay? Even then, say they want to get out of it after the 4th year of the experiment, they'll have $31.2 million on their dead cap that year. So they will be paying him $31 million on their cap to go away. That's a situation that's not going to work. No, they're not going to get rid of him to pay $31 million. I highly doubt, unless it just continues down this path to where he is this bad and they need to get out of it desperately just to save face. And so when I say, and you do have to consider, it is early, new coach, there's a chance it gets better. I think it would have to get a little better. But even if it gets quite a bit better, I still think there's an argument to be made that this is, in the now and in the next years to come, the most disastrous move I think I've seen, certainly in my years of following the NFL. By far, it's not even right now up for debate. They are the fourth best team in the AFC West, and not that I don't think a lot of people were ever picking them to be first by any means, but playoffs were like the expectation this year. And right now, if you're a Broncos fan, you just want to see this offense and Russell Wilson look competent, so that you don't, forget this year. This year, they're a 5-12, 6-11 team. But you want to see some competency so that you don't feel so lost and hopeless in the years to come, because they can't get out of this contract, not anytime soon. And if they do, it's going to require them, spending a draft pick on a young kid and Russell just kind of playing second fiddle, which could be a really weird dynamic. Now, I'm not going to go into all his personality stuff. I think he's getting drugged a lot about his act, if you will. I won't get into that, but look, I've seen some things. Well, maybe they bring in Sean Payton and that fixes things. Bringing in a new coach who can get this offense going. Tell me why Sean Payton would ever sign up for this job when every other opening, he's going to be able to pick, right? Any team that has an opening, he's going to be at the top of the list, no doubt. Why would he pick Denver? Why would he go work with a quarterback who all he has done, assuming that he eventually gets Nathaniel Hackett fired, all he's done is get offensive play callers fired? He's not going to. So, yeah, they might hire a different coach who works out, but it's not going to be Sean Payton. So people need to forget that in Denver. Unless they're, money talks. Maybe they're willing to pay him to an extent that we've never seen or heard of before, and that does it. But somebody's going to do that anyways, with him being such a coveted coach right now. And another thing, the injuries are piling up. I just saw before I hopped on here, left tackle Garrett Bowles, he's out for the season with a broken ankle. And Ronald Darby, the cornerback who starts pretty good man cover corner, he's going to be out for the season with a torn ACL. So they've had issues with injuries, but even before the injuries, the operation did not look good. And here we go. Like I said, it's a 5-12 team in my eyes, who maybe they get to 6-11. I don't know, but they're last place in the AFC West.